Hello, Joel Tadman here from Golf Monthly, and today I'm at Westhill Golf Club testing out the new Mizuno JPX900 Fairway and Hybrid. Now, if these clubs are as impressive as the JPX900 driver, then we've got a lot to look forward to in these clubs. We've got shockwave soles here in both of these clubs designed to help the face flex a little bit more and get you a little bit more distance through more ball speed. In the Fairway, we've got a 15-gram adjustable weight here, so you can see you've got 3 different positions that you can move that weight to alter the spin and the trajectory depending on the ball fly that you want. And then with the Hybrid, there's no adjustable weight here, but this is Mizuno's first ever adjustable hybrid. So you've got quick switch hosel adjustability here, so you can change the loft up to 2 degrees up and down, and then there's some upright settings as well to give you a little bit more draw bias. Not sure most people want more draw bias on their hybrid, but if you do tend to slice your hybrids a lot, then you can benefit from that on this new hybrid. So before we talk about the performance, I've hit some shots on my GC2 launch monitor, but let's talk about the cosmetics. First of all, starting with the fairway wood, obviously you've got the rich kind of Mizuno blue coming through here on top, which makes it very easy to line thanks to the contrast with the black face. What I would say is that it's quite a busy looking fairway wood. You've got a lot of white graphics all around the perimeter of the head, and then you can see the writing on the hosel, and then you've got white grooves either side of the club face as well, which obviously work to frame the ball nicely, but I think it's just visually, there's a lot to catch your eye with that club. Don't get me wrong, it sits lovely down by the ball. I like the size of it. It's kind of not too big, not too small. Feel like I can hit a lot of different shots with this. I've been testing it on the range here today. There's some rough around the edges where I also tested it to see how it came out of the grass from when the ball was sitting down. One thing I noticed that, this channel is quite deep. You're probably going to get some grass stuck in there if you tend to use your fairway wood a lot off the deck. Moving on to the hybrid, Mizuno say they want this to feel and play more like an iron. I'm not sure it looks too much like an iron. I'd say it's kind of mid-size in terms of hybrids that are on the market these days, but similar with the fairway wood, very easy to align. A little bit less fussy, I think, with the looks. You've got the nice even white groove lines on the face. Feels absolutely fantastic. Really like the sound of these clubs. Not too loud, but nice and powerful, nice and crisp, relatively high-pitched. Might turn a few heads on the range, but all in all, really enjoyed the overall package. Cosmetically and audibly these clubs gave me, but let's have a look at the all-important distance and data numbers to see exactly what performance we got. So starting with the fairway wood, you can see here, looking at the data, I've hit 5 shots in the 2 most extreme settings with the same standard loft of 15 degrees. So we've got some with the low spin setting, low flight setting, some with the high spin, high launch setting. As you can see from the numbers, there wasn't actually that much difference in moving that 15 grams of weight about 1.5 inches from front to back. Didn't notice pretty much any difference in performance. You'll see in the high setting I got 0.1 degree higher launch, so barely nothing, a little bit more ball speed actually, and a 1 yard higher flight with around about 100 RPM more spin. So I've seen this with other clubs launched recently. Adjustable weights seem to be doing less for me recently. I'm not sure why that is, but I just think, moving that much weight, that little amount of weight in that smaller direction just doesn't seem to change the ball flight for me. Carry was pretty good. This was off the deck, so I wasn't expecting hugely impressive carry numbers. Off the tee obviously go a lot further, but we've got 228 carry, so probably running out to about 235, 240, which is fairly good for a fairway wood. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the overall performance that it gave me. And then moving on to the hybrid, carry of 222. For me, the hybrid was the club that stood out of the 2. This was the club that really impressed me. Found it really easy to hit from different lies. I'm not sure why that was. Perhaps the shockwave sole takes out some of that turf interaction, makes it cut through the turf a little bit more crisply. But some really good numbers there. 222 carry, like I mentioned, with 3-2 spin, which is nice and kind of mid-range. Kind of combine a little bit of distance with some stopping power as well. For me, that was the club that really stood out. Like I mentioned before, if you're in the market for a new hybrid, I recommend you give that JPX900 a go. Don't get me wrong, the fairway wood was a very good club as well, and you combine that with the driver, I think you can have a very good set of woods here if you opt for the Mizuno JPX900. So the fairway wood comes in at $279, which is kind of the mid to high price point for a fairway wood in 2017. You look at the driver at $399, which is definitely more towards the mid price point for modern day drivers. Hybrid at $2 319, so I think a fairly good ratio of price to performance there. Like I mentioned before, the hybrid was more of the standout club, but excellent performance from both of them. Recommend if you're in the market for a new set of woods. Don't think the Mizuno JPX900 is going to disappoint you.